Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Sen, and welcome to some Guilty Gear Strive. As you can see, we're going to be rocking out with some training mode to talk about a character specifically, and that character is actually Faust. I've played this character very little, but I do want to talk about some things that I've seen that I think are good about this character, and some things that maybe help push someone along in the very beginning stages. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to take a better look at the character, because I will be playing him a bit. Not sure how much. I think the character is pretty interesting generally, but the topic of debate is actually how good this character is. A lot of people say he's not very good at all. I'm not sure. I think he might be right in the middle of the road for me. But let's start with the very beginning things that we can take a look at. So first off, understand when you are looking at any character is to observe your normals. So your punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, and dust. After that would be to look at your crouching normals, so crouching P, crouching slash, crouching kick, crouching heavy slash, and crouching dust. Get an idea of what these moves might be useful for. Obviously, you can tell just by like ranges or speeds or something like that. And then going on after that is your command normals. So everyone has a 6P in this game, so this is universally going to be an A tier. Faust's only other command normal is actually his 6H. This is an overhead slash that goes pretty far. It's good for kind of mixing your opponent up here and there, and then it's a good way to catch your opponent jumping as well because it has a kind of jump bounce property that I can showcase here. So if we go into the middle of the screen and then set our opponent to jump, and then we 6H them, they're gonna bounce. So the first place I want to go after just looking at your normals would be your jumping normals, kind of get an idea of what those are good for. So you're jumping P, jumping K, jumping slash, jumping heavy slash, and jumping dust. The thing with jumping dust that it's good for is when your opponent gets hit by Afro, whenever Afro comes out, it's kind of like a fuzzy instant overhead kind of deal. I don't know if I can force the Afro to come out at all. Rest in peace. And yeah, I mean, I think it's also a pretty not bad jumping normal as well. Cut that out. Cut that out. I would say your other good jumping normal would be your jumping slash. Jumping P seems like it's good for air to airs. Jumping K seems like it's good for like a quick, nice, sharp angle that it covers, and then jumping heavy slash is definitely an air-to-air normal for sure. So if you expect your opponent to jump at you, or jump towards you, or attempt to air-to-air you, maybe jumping heavy slash or jumping P would be good air-to-air normals. Moving on from that, but also related to the air, is your anti-airs. Obviously the universal one, as I stated, was 6P, but also Faust has the option of 2K as well. 2K seems like a pretty good anti-air, and a lot of people will jump cancel it into a combo or something like that. Just seems generally pretty good. So we're going to program Ramlethal to jump at us, and we'll save that and have us play back. So what people will do will be 5K into 6H, or you could also just jump cancel the combo normally. So 5K, 6H, put some full screen, and after you put your opponent on full screen, or in a situation of knockdown, it's good to toss a couple of items. So let's kind of run that right back. So it's gonna jump at us. Let's just toss a couple items. You can't get to us, we're at full screen. Obviously not great items. You might get some better ones. It's random. That's kind of the whole quirk of item toss. It's random. You don't know what you're gonna get. You might get something like, you know, bomb for instance, poke it at them, I don't know. But it's good if your opponent has no room to challenge you to potentially just throw an item. You could potentially go for something else as well. You could go for half circle forward and kick. So if Ram jumps at us, 5K 6H, we could just throw out half circle forward and kick. This kind of cuts her off from approaching us right after we send her back. And if we are close enough, we can actually, if I can get the move to come out, just hit her with it. You don't have to connect it either. You could just throw it out there if you're better at half circle motions than I am. So, something else notable I wanted to talk about is the round start. A lot of people like to throw out a button on round start. I personally like to throw out 6H with Soul. It's pretty quick. It counters, so you can potentially get a counter combo going on. But something I found out actually through playing against a Faust is that 2P is actually Fauster. 2P is actually faster than Soul's 6H. It reaches pretty far. It reaches the round start So it's a good option. It's a pretty safe option. It's quick. And I actually try to whiff punish it by backdashing and throwing out Soul's 6H, and I recovered in time to block it. So let's say on the round start, our opponent jumps at us, because that's something else people do. They'll round start, jump, and try to get a jump in. So I could whiff 2P and go into 6H right after. It's that quick. And what do I do after that 6H? Well, they're pretty far away from me, so I could either throw out an item, or I could throw out half circle forward and kick. I think the next place I want to cover is your heavy slash, Obviously you can throw this in combination with slash, heavy slash, or close slash, far slash, heavy slash. This is pretty good because once again it throws them out pretty far to full screen. You could either throw an item or, you know, right after that, do half circle forward and kick. So that's an option. And why stop at one half circle forward and kick? I've actually seen some notable players throw out one right after the other. And it kind of keeps you on your toes. It makes you want to be more cautious of Faust's range. If your opponent tries to jump in, you could just catch him with 6H, and it's going to bounce him right back, put him in the same exact situation, throw some items, or throw out half circle forward and kick. If there is a Faust player that is good with Faust, it is very hard to get in on him and hard to get past the full screen or 3/4 screen. Okay, let's actually move on to talking about half circle forward kick, or the stab. This has some follow-ups, and I think that's a pretty interesting move in general because it's a timing-based move, but the actual input is half circle forward kick, bring it back, and heavy slash to finish with the golf club swing. So you actually pull the direction back, or 4, on player 1's side to actually get the second follow-up. So 4, heavy slash. It's a pretty interesting move. I think it's pretty weird. A lot of people will do the full thing, bring it back, heavy slash, and Roman cancel. I'm actually not sure what a good Faust Roman cancel combo is or jump cancel combo is, but it's just kind of an idea, right? So that's something that I typically see people do. Now another thing I see people do with half circle forward kick is actually follow it up after 6H. So they'll 6H and then bam, do it right after. That has caught me so many times against a Faust player that was actually pretty decent. You guys have no idea. I just kept on running into it. And in part, this was my own failure to adapt, but I do think it seems pretty good because one, it keeps you on the ground for the follow-up. So if you try to jump at it, you're just going to be swatted back to the ground. And if you try to block it, one, you might get hit overhead, and two, if you don't get hit overhead and block it, you're still going to face a chip damage from the actual stab itself. So there's kind of a lot there. It's pretty simple, but also pretty effective. And then boom, right after, you're in a position to throw some items. A big move I want to talk about is actually crouching heavy slash. This move is actually a lot more massive than I thought. It goes quite far, as you could tell. It goes about maybe half screen, if not a little bit further, maybe? Not quite 3/4 screen, let's call it. I think it's pretty good. It's a sweep, so, you know, as the position states, if you sweep them, throw an item. Why not? They're already in a knockdown state. Something to consider. Now, moving on and kind of back, I want to talk about the slash heavy slash combo, or the heavy slash heavy slash. The heavy slash portion actually wall bounces in the corner. So if we do this in the corner, we can get a follow-up with mix, or maybe, I don't know. I haven't tried it, but maybe super. Oh. Yeah, you can follow it up with super. That's awesome. The thing I'm not so sure about is actually Faust double core circle forward. His, we'll call bargain sale. I don't know what to call it. What is its actual name? What could this be? So I'm actually not sure how good this move actually is. Obviously it throws a whole bunch of items and there's some stuff there, I guess, but I would much rather, if I'm going to use a meter for this character, use it for either Roman cancel or his actual regular, like, super. So the next thing I actually want to talk about is Faust has a command grab. So opponent stats, we're gonna set our opponent to guard all. So as we all know, grabs are good. You do stuff with them. Yeah. But Faust has a very interesting command grab. Let me see if I remember what it is. It is quarter circle forward and heavy slash. So once they're in an afro state, you can kind of get this quick overhead with jumping dust. Seems pretty good, I don't know. But what a lot of people will do is do a basic combo, item toss, and then run up throw. And I think the last thing that we actually have to talk about is, oh, I lied. Faust has one more interesting thing, which is his jumping 2K. This covers quite a bit of distance, cuts off the screen, but I think it's fairly minus on block. I actually don't know. Faust does have a dust, which lets you hit back projectiles. Not sure how good this is or how practical, but it is an option. Something actually basic I haven't really covered yet is understanding your movement options with the character. Understand where their back dash range is, how fast their forward dash is. Yes, Faust, as we talked about, has a crawl option. What his air dash is, because Faust has a pretty funky air dash. And his back dash is pretty conventional, but it's the forward dash, the forward air dash. That gets a little bit interesting. And you can actually control where it goes, so you could move it up or down. So that's actually an option you have. But the actual last thing I wanted to talk about is, I think with this, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys and what I think about the character and how to use certain things. There is something you can do with Scarecrow, which is fast RC, but I actually don't know how to fast RC in this game, something I need to figure out still. But you will use Scarecrow, if I can do it, into fast RC into like run up grab or something. It's also a way to use Scarecrow. I think that's gonna do it. That's like a basic idea of like how to use Faust. I'm gonna leave the rest to the more advanced players or you to figure out for yourself. Well, I did leave out one thing, and that is his jump item toss is a bag of bomb. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Hope you found this helpful. Peace.